All right, hey everyone. Pro Enzo Vidz is back here with the Ankle Breaker podcast, episode 5. So before I introduce the guest that I have on this afternoon, just want to say that as you can see, I've changed my name. The reason behind that is because I just thought, NRL Vidz 090 is a bit basic, and I feel like I get big. I should maybe just change the name a little bit and make it a bit more professional and better. That was just my opinion anyway. But no, I like it actually. Pro Enzo Vids came up with, like yesterday, and no, that'll be the name going forward. But yeah, just want to introduce the guest on this afternoon. We've got the NRL Spectacular here and Jimmy. So I'll ask you first, Jimmy. How are you this afternoon?
I'm great, thanks, mate. Thanks for having me on the show. Um, you know, it's great to be here on the Ankle Breaker podcast, mate. Can't complain.
All right, yep, sounds good. And the NRL Spectacular, how you going?
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you for asking me on this great podcast. I can't wait to talk some footy.
Yeah, me either. So, look, we'll start off with the very first thing of the show. Basically, we go through our round 25 NRL team of the week. So, yeah, I'll go through mine quickly. So, this is my round 25 NRL team of the week. So, I have got quickly. So, at fullback for my round 25 NRL team of the week, I've got Tom Trbojevic at fullback, which I don't think many people can disagree with. On the wings, I've got Brian Toto and Ruben Garrick. In the centres, I've got Selwyn Cobbo and Adam Kieran as my centres. In the halves, Anthony Milford and Nathan Cleary. The props are Mark Nichols and Moaki Fodawaker. And hooker, Brandon Smith. Then in the back row, I've got Jack Hetherington and David Fafita as my back rowers. Now at lock, I've got Jake Trbojevic at lock. And off the bench, I've got Brendan Wakeham, Josh Jackson, Sio Siwa Takayaho, and the debutant, Lachlan Ilias. So, yeah, that's my team of the week. NRL Spectacular, what's your team of the week, bro, for round 25?
All right, my team of the week this week. Just let me find it. I have it. Yeah, I have it now. At fullback is Tom Trbojevic. On the wings, I have Brian Toto and Ruben Garrick. In the centres, I have Adam Kieran and Will Hopewade. In the halves, I've got Kieran Foran and Jerome Hughes. In the front row, I have Siosia Takayaho and Moake Fodawaker. In the hooker, I have Jaden Sullivan. In the second rows, I have Bo Fermor and Homoli Olakawatu. And at lock, I have Jake Trbojevic. My bench is Jaden Campbell, Jack DeBellin, Tavita Pangai Jr., and Benji Marshall.
Yeah, that's a fair team actually. I can't really disagree with many of your sections there. And I'll ask Jimmy now. What's your team of the week, Jimmy, for round 25?
My round 25 team of the week. It's a bit similar to both yours, a little bit different in some spots, some areas a bit different. But at fullback, got Tommy Turbo, the man himself. On the wings, Brian Toto and Ruben Garrick. In the centres, we've got Campbell Graham and Adam Kieran. In the halves, Anthony Milford, Nathan Cleary. In the hooker, we've got Harry Grant. Up front, we've got Jack Hetherington and Payne Haas. Second rows, we've got Helemi Olakawatu and Angus Crichton. The lock, Jake Trbojevic. And then my bench, I've got Jaden Campbell, number 14, Nick Meaney, Siu Takiyaho, and Tavita Pangai Jr.
Yeah, that's actually a strong team as well. Actually, I think that's a fair lineup you picked there. So no, both good teams actually you both picked. But yeah, like I said, let's get into the topics that happened during the week. So the first one we'll discuss is about Maguire. Now, yesterday, obviously, the Tigers got thrashed by the Bulldogs, losing 38-0. And I just want to pose a question right now. After that loss and after the season the Tigers have had, will Michael Maguire survive the pre-coach? Like, will he be sacked during the pre-season or will he survive? So I'll ask Jimmy this question first. So, Jimmy, do you see Mike Maguire staying at the Tigers during the preseason, or do you think he'll get the cut?
Look, Madge cops a lot of stuff, a lot of crap and that, but, can you really blame him? He hasn't got the cattle. I mean, we all seen the bloody tales from Tiger Town and the heart he has for the club and, the amount of effort he puts in. I mean, I reckon give him a shot, next year. He's got a few more players coming. See how he goes. Obviously, if the Tigers are still going terrible, maybe look at getting rid of him. But, getting rid of him now, who are they going to get? I mean, I guess there's Shane Flanagan and, but I don't think Madge is the problem, to be honest. That's just my opinion.
No, yeah, fair call, actually. That's well said. NRL Spectacular, what's your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I agree. I think, Madge isn't the problem because he won a premiership with South Sydney as well. He's just got some shocking players in the club that need to be let go by that club. Personally, I think Luke Brooks isn't the answer at halfback. That's mainly because he hasn't been in too much good form. Adam Dewey's been the one that's directed their team around, and they've got a few other bludgers in their team that they need to get rid of. I don't think Madge is the problem. If in 2 years, if they get a better squad and they're still not doing well, then yeah, I'll think about it. But no, not at the moment. If Justin Pascoe sacks him, there's going to be serious problems at Tigers, I think.
No, yeah, I have to agree. Actually, I think that's very valid what you said there. I think both your points about Michael Maguire makes a lot of sense. With my thoughts now, look, I think to be fair, I think Madge will get the sack. I can't see him staying the summer. I know he may not be the problem. I don't think he is the problem, but I just don't think going forward the Tigers are going to have much patience in him. I just don't think they're really going to keep him for much longer. So no, look, I think the Tigers, they need a better because obviously some of their players that have what's the best way to describe it? Some of the players they do have are deadwood, basically, meaning that they're pretty useless and they're not players that they should have in that club. And yeah, I think they definitely need a roster makeover, definitely. So yeah, look, it'd be interesting to see what the Tigers do differently offset. But seriously, I think looking at what the Tigers could be like, next year, I think they will be on the favourites for the wooden spoon, as you were saying, Jimmy.
Yeah. Well, like we all said, we don't think Madge is to blame, but somebody's got to take the blame. And like you said, unfortunately, it probably will be Madge Maguire, but it's unfortunate.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah, because I think Madge is a good coach. I just think I think he is does have a pretty record in that, but just I think overall, I don't think he sees eye to eye with all the players. I feel like there's some players there he doesn't really see eye to eye with, in my opinion, just from what I sort of feel. And I just think maybe Madge just needs better players in the squad to really succeed, I guess. I mean, I don't think Madge has had a real chance to kind of rebuild the squad. I think get players in that team that Ivan Cleary sort of brought into the club. So it's a bit unfair on Madge in a way. But it's a business at the end of the day, and we'll have to see how it all goes in the off season. But going on to the second topic now, it's about this is very controversial, and this was addressed yesterday basically by both the Titans about this situation. Now, what's our thoughts on the fight between Matt Lodge and Barrett Wallace? Like, what do you think about the situation that happened there in that fight? Because obviously, Warriors CEO came out and spoke about it, and then the Titans had a bit of a say about it and that. So, Jimmy, I'll ask you first, mate. What were your thoughts on the whole Lodge versus Jarrett Wallace situation?
Well, first of all, let me say I thought it was funny as fuck. I mean, it kind of, it just happened, and I was sitting there watching the game, and I was like, "Oh, this is great." But honestly, I feel like Matt Lodge just got a bit overheated, and let his emotions get to him. I read something today that apparently Jared Wallace actually said to him, "Sign the fucking contract, and we'll step in the ring," or something like that.
Yeah.
So I think Wallace is all for it. I'd love to see it, but I don't think it'll happen. But the Warriors were losing. I don't see the point of it. It just makes Matt Lodge look like an idiot, in my opinion. If it was a close game, then fair enough. But I mean, you're getting smashed. It's the last game of the year. I feel like Jared Wallace done a good job keeping a cool face to it all. He could have easily done something stupid, and he would have been out for the big game next week. Well, this weekend, I should say, against the Roosters, which would have sucked. But yeah, it was funny and it was entertaining, but pretty stupid of Matt Lodge. And yeah, it's just footy. That's just what happens in football sometimes, and it's good to see.
Yeah, exactly. Because I think I guess whatever happens in the field should stay in the field. Basically, and I mean, it's been a while since we've seen a bit of beef, and I think lately in the NRL there's hardly been any arguments or fights, and it's just been a bit boring, I think. But yeah, it was good to see a bit of beef yesterday because I think that's what the game was missing. Back. Yeah, NRL spectacular. What were your overall thoughts on the whole situation as well?
Oh yeah, like Jimmy said, yeah, that was hilarious. That was just funny as. I saw Jared Wallace and Matt Lodge going at it, and then Kane Everts came in, threw a few punches as well. I don't know who else got Simbin, but there was one other. I think it was earlier before that, and before
Jazz
that,
Tavaga.
yeah, Justifier, that's right. Yeah, because came in swung. I think it was Philip Sammy. Philip Sammy was doing this. That was hilarious, bro. That was awesome. That was awesome to watch.
That
Just
was like Reece Walsh as well. Like,
yeah,
why would he
Reece
come in
Walsh
and
got
do
in there
that? Like, he started
straight
the
in.
whole thing.
Yeah. And then he
Anyway,
went in hid.
Oh,
He just
it
went
was
in
just
hid. Poor little bloke.
yeah.
Yeah. When those fullbacks do that, they're gonna get smashed by the forwards. Forwards
yeah,
is gonna run right over the top of them. So
yeah.
yeah, no, I thought it was hilarious. We need a bit of that in the NRL because we're kind of losing it, like you said, Lorenzo. Yeah, that was good to watch. Good stuff.
It was unexpected too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean there
yeah.
was no reason for the first
I
one.
think oh yeah, for sure. And yeah, like Jimmy said, I think when it's unexpected, it makes it better. I think so. No,
Yeah,
it was good.
Well, well,
I
well,
actually enjoyed it overall. And
to be honest, it was quite a boring match. The Titans were smashing them, and then that just kind of lightened it up at the end. So,
oh yeah. Did you see
yeah,
that
it did.
Titans fan took his shirt off?
that was probably the
Yeah,
highlight of the match.
Yeah, that was the best thing that ever
Great to
happened.
see.
That was hilarious as well.
yeah,
oh god, that was funny. That was
that would
funny.
have been me
But
if I was there.
no, look, but look, honestly, it was it was honestly just an onslaught game. I mean, good job to the Titans winning. It's their first first finals appearance since 2016. I'm pretty sure, so that's 5 years now. So yeah, good on the Gold Coast, and I guess yeah, good luck to them in the finals. Hopefully they can at least cause some damage come finals. But speaking of damage during the finals, now this is the other topic we're talking about. So just want to pose a question right now. Will the Knights, who came seventh, and the Titans, who came eighth, will they cause any damage in any damage finals? Like, will any of those teams cause any damage at all finals? Now, NRL Spectacular, I'll ask you this question first. Do you believe the Knights or Titans will cause any damage during finals at all?
Oh, it's a good one. I don't think the Knights will be able to cause damage, just because I think their attack's just a bit off and their defense is shocking as well. I mean, I know they rested a few of their players against the Broncos, but they still had most of their spine in Clifford and Pearce and Ponga, and they still ended up letting in 36 points almost. And yeah, it was just kind of shocking to watch for a top 8 team to concede that much points against a team that's just come 14th. Yeah, it's a bit shocking to see from a top 8 team. So I don't think they'll put up a fight against Eels. I think Eels will put too much points on them. But I think Titans can put up a fight against Roosters. They can their attack can match it with the Roosters. They done it last time. They almost beat the Roosters when they came back 35-34 or just lost. But yeah, they came back really well because they were getting smashed, I think. And then they just, as soon as that trainer got in the way in that match, everything went uphill for the Titans.
Yeah.
They started scoring points, and I think they can score points against the Roosters again. I think they can beat the Roosters if they put their minds to it.
No, well said. Actually, I think there's every chance that could actually happen. The Titans being the Roosters, but yeah, Jimmy, since you're a big Titans fan, just want to ask you now. Like, do you see the Titans doing any damage in finals, and can you see the Knights doing any damage in finals?
Yeah, well, I'll start with the Knights. Like NRL Spectacular said, I don't see them doing much. I mean, if Mitchell Pearce goes down injured or something, they're pretty much dead in the water. But their attack hasn't been great. You've heard the commentators the last few weeks even saying it. Like, they've won their last, before they lost, obviously, 5 games in a row or something, but they weren't convincing wins. I feel like Parramatta are just going to blow them off the field. I could be wrong. If Kalen Ponga comes out and, plays out of his shoes, and maybe they could cause an upset, but I'll be tipping Parramatta. I think Parramatta would be too strong for the Knights, and even if they do beat Parramatta, I don't see them going any further than that. As for the Titans, it really just depends what team shows up. I mean, they can score points, they can play good footy, but it just depends on the week, the game, the weather. I don't know what it depends on, but there's something going on there where they come out and they just play absolutely, like you've seen it, they play 40 minutes of football where it's like, wow, this is a top 4 team. And then they'll come out the next 40 minutes and it's just like, well, hang on, this is like a bottom 4 team. So it really just depends on the mindset the boys get in. There's not a lot of players for the Titans that have had finals experience, unfortunately. So it's going to be interesting to see how they go under that kind of pressure. I seen something on Facebook today saying somebody was asking about Ash Taylor, where was he? And somebody in the comments said, no Ash Taylor, Titans are in the finals. I wonder why. And I got to agree with that. He's not good in pressure game, like high pressure matches. I really hope that he doesn't come back next week. I don't think he will. But yeah, if we can beat the Roosters, I think it'll be a good close match. I mean, if we can beat the Roosters, and then to be honest, if we do beat the Roosters, I hope that Manly beat Melbourne, because I'd much rather play Melbourne than Manly the following week. Both games against Melbourne this year, the Titans have pushed Melbourne Storm. So, I mean, I'd rather play Melbourne than Manly. But yeah, I don't know. I think they can cause damage. It depends on the players, and it depends on if the luck goes in the Titans' way. It's all about, everything's got to click, really.
Yeah, look, with your point of Ash Taylor, I think with Ash Taylor, like, I think ever since he's been gone, he just hasn't. It's been better lines. I think him not being there benefited the Titans in a way, how they've sort of performed overall. And like just before he even was gone, and I saw Tyrone Peachey line up at 5'8", because I think Tyrone Peachey played 5'8" against the Knights last week, and I wasn't really keen on that. I thought that was a bit of a strange move, and it didn't really work out in round 24. But in round 25, when you guys played the Warriors just yesterday, it went really well. I thought he ran the ball very strongly. Good foil, good. Yeah. Oh yeah.
With that, I feel like when we played the Knights, he kind of didn't do much. Like, he just ran the ball. He didn't really pass it much. I think he kicked it once or twice. And in the game against the Warriors, I feel like he just put it out there, and he done a lot more. Like, he wasn't great, but he was good. He done the job.
Oh yeah, no doubt about that, no doubt. But yeah, look, he was better yesterday. I thought he ran the ball stronger. He looked especially in that 5'8" role. So I don't know if the Titans will persist with that, like keep ahead with that. But they might, and I wouldn't blame them. They do because it worked really well yesterday. But yeah, look, going with the Titans, I think they can cause a bit of damage in finals. They can score points, no doubt. Like they can definitely score points. That's not an issue for them. But what I do think is an issue for them is their defense. I think it's all years a bit of a worry. They leak too many. They leak too far many points to be a top 8 team. I mean, I think if you want to be going like if you want to go like what's it called really deep in finals, you can't leak that many points because I think that's obviously shows you're not good enough to be in that sort of situation. Yeah,
definitely.
I think no, Titans can beat Roosters. I mean, Roosters have heaps of players out, but I guess at the end of the day, they've still got Tedesco, Tupou, Angus Crouch, and all those other players that have experience available. So it will be tough, but it's not impossible. I could definitely say with confidence that the Titans will give the Roosters a run for their money on Saturday. And I think it's a good chance that the Titans can do something. And going with the Knights now, look, the Knights are 50-50 for mine. I think the Knights, they have the players to cause damage. They've got Ponga, Pearce, but I feel like if they didn't have Ponga or Pearce, then they would go dog shit in my opinion because I feel like they relied too much on Ponga and Pearce because you saw it in the Broncos game because in the Broncos game on Saturday when they were both off, they looked terrible in attack. It was like they looked diabolical every time they had the ball. It wasn't pretty to watch. So it's a bit disappointing to see that line to really get them out of the hole that they're in on Saturday. But look, I think they can beat Parramatta. It's definitely possible with who they've got, but with Parramatta, I feel like they've got too much experience in finals. They've got Gutherson who was rested last week against Penrith Panthers, and I feel like him being back the week, the Knights game, he'll be fresh and ready to go, and he'll have a big game. And Moses, Papali'i. So they got a class team Roosters and that Eels. I mean, sorry, but that's the Knights don't have a class team either because the Knights do have a fair squad, but it's just that if they can get the consistency right and if they can, I guess turn up because there's days where the Knights are on and they play footy, but there's other days where the Knights look awful. Let's put it that way because they're just inconsistent. That's the unfortunate thing. But look, I think it's definitely not impossible for those teams to cause damage, and I hope they do because I feel like if Titans and the Knights did cause something during finals, it would make the whole final series a lot better. But so we've been going for about 23 minutes now. So to kind of wrap up the show, this is called the biggest numpty of the week. So it's only a bit of a joke, sort of this numpty of the week sort of thing from round 25. So basically means if there's a comment you saw during the week, NRL related that you didn't like, you can call that person out and sort of have your say in it. Or if there was some sort of act, for example, like maybe like the Kane Evans punch on Jarrell Wallace, for example, that's none of the other week's move there. So you can call out whoever you like, pretty much. It's a bit of a joke and nothing serious. But spectacular. Who is your numpty of the week that you're choosing this week?
Yes. My numpty of the week is the Dragons fans in the Instagram comments. The reason why I know we've got some bad players, and they're trying to put these players down, such as Corey Norman. I know he's horrible and he's played shocking ever since he's been with us, but it's gotten to the point where he doesn't deserve it anymore because he's copped way too much from the fans. And this is the same with Cody Ramsey. There's no need for it. And I've just seen enough of it. So I'm calling them out. Stop. If you can play better than them, go on the field and play better than them. But if you can't, don't talk. Don't sit behind the phone or the keyboard and type, oh yeah, this player's done shit, get him into reserve grade. I understand that, but you can't go and say that unless you've played the game and unless you know what it's like to be in someone's shoes. So my numpty of the week is the fans in the comments. The
No,
salty fans.
that's fair actually. That's a good good choice. Now, Jimmy, what's your numpty of the week, mate?
My numpty of the week goes out to the bloke that ran out into the field. It was the South Dragons game, was it?
That was hilarious.
And did you hear the commentators saying, "Oh, he beats one, he beats two." That was hilarious. But he gets my numpty of the week.
That was hilarious.
Yeah, fair call. Well, this is only a bit of a joke. It's nothing serious, but during the week, I got a bit disturbed by some comments by a YouTuber. Well, not a former YouTuber, but doesn't do videos anymore. And thank God he shut down. So, and I think in the comments, NRL Jai stuff has who my numpty of the week is, and that is Beanie Car Sports. And
I knew that.
Yesterday, when the Gold Coast Titans beat the Warriors, he tagged Warriors NRL fanatics and he tagged Nick from Australia in that post, saying, "Don't count your chickens too early next time, boys," or something. And being a bit of a smart ass, trying to look like he's all funny in that. So Benny Car Sports, you stupid fucking UA looking cunt. Why don't you go off? Why don't you buy my lighthouse and jump off the cunt? Seriously, I mean. And then other comments like what's it called? The game this week, Manly and Melbourne, because obviously he's a Melbourne fan, I'm a Manly fan, and I think on purpose as well, because he knows I don't like him in that. So on purpose, he was commenting Melbourne will shut down Turbo, Storm will beat Manly, Piffed, Tom's nothing when we Storm, etc. So so Benny Car Sports trying to look like he's all big, trying to look like he's being all smart when he's not. So that little smart ass can honestly go and fuck himself after Friday, because I'll tell you what, if Manly do beat the Storm, I will absolutely give it to him, and then we'll see if Benjamin Cliff will keep speaking again, because his real name is Ben Cliff. So that'll be funny if I just call him out, because he calls us out. So it'd be funny if I can call him out if Manly beat the Storm. But look, guys, that probably brings an end to the podcast, to be honest. And I've got to say, it was a good one as well. So I'll thank NRL Spectacular for joining the podcast, and same with Jimmy Miller. Good to have you lads on, and So but guys, thanks for watching. Make sure you do like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Go and subscribe to NRL Spectacular's YouTube channel. His link will be in the comment section down below to subscribe to his channel. And I don't think Jimmy Miller has a YouTube channel, but Instagram. So if you want to chuck him a follow, I'll put his Instagram link to his Instagram link to his page in the description down below. So go and follow him there. But guys, that brings the end. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next podcast episode.